Hey guys, this is Jesse Baker with Hunt Ford. Today we're going to go over a couple of the Bronco editions that we have here. This first one to my left in Kodiak Brown will be the Badlands edition, and then this one over on this side will be the Cactus Gray. This is our Outer Banks edition, so you can see there's some pretty similar front ends. We're going to go over our Kodiak Brown Badlands edition first. The first thing you'll notice up here, we do have our LEDs up front. We also have a little camera up front. This is our 180-degree camera system that automatically turns on whenever you're in rock haul or mud terrain mode. That'll give you a better view up front of what's going on in all terrain conditions. As we go around, you'll see this color kind of changes with the light. The light that's here, you can see you'll get a little bit more of a brown, but it is a very dark color. Looks a little bit different in the light. These are 17-inch wheels that come in the Badlands. That is our standard wheel for the Badlands in carbonized gray. As you go up and go around it, these do have perimeter keys, remote start. You have your trunk latch key on here as well. So if you put your hand in, that's going to unlock. If you put your thumb over, that'll lock back. There's no need to get your key out unless you want a remote start. You do have a push button start inside. So if you wanted to remote start it, you could get in, press your push to start, and you'd never have to get your keys out. In your mirrors here, you do have blind spot monitoring on each side. So if somebody's in your blind spot, that'll illuminate. If you put your turn signal on while someone's over there, it's going to flash at you and let you know not to get over. Back here we have a magnetic fuel door with no fuel cap. That's pretty standard for a while now on the different Ford models. That's just going to close like regular. It's on our driver's side, which is kind of nice. Going around the back of it, forgive us, we've been demoing these, so this one's got a little dirt on it because we've been using it, but you have some options here. They did do a back glass for quick access, so you can get back here and get to anything you need to really easily. You also have an option for the full door here. Something that's really cool. They know you're going to be going off-road with these. They know you're going to be using them for different travels. Hopefully going to some parks and stuff like that. You have a lighting option back here. So if you're getting ready at night, you have adjustable lighting back here that you can use. You have, in this one, we've got our all-weather mat for our cargo area. When the seats fold, you can see you've got cargo liners on the back of the seats too, so you don't have to worry about getting those muddy. Back here you have a 110 outlet, so if you need to charge anything, you've got a 110 and a 12 volt that you can choose from back here. Alright, close these and shut this down. Alright, you can see your LEDs across the back. You do have some little emblems. It's kind of hard to see in this lighting. You've got a little Bronco emblem right next to your back windshield wiper there. But you've got your LED taillights as well as your LED brake lights and turn signal indicators. This one's the Badlands. This one has a tow package on it. This one's good for about 2,200 pounds. This has a 2.0 liter twin turbo EcoBoost engine. Now you also have your back down sensors here as well. You can turn those off or on if you're backing down to a trailer. Something that I love that Ford does, and they do it so well, is putting the backup camera right above your trailer hitch. So if you're backing down to any trailers for jet skis, dirt bikes, anything like that, you've got a zoom feature that'll go right over your hitch, and then all you have to do is get out once, lower your trailer, put it on your pin, and then you're good to go. Makes life really easy. Alright, so back in the back seat we have our ebony roast interior. This is the inside of the Kodiak Brown Badlands edition. We've got a few different options here for storage. First off, if you're loading stuff in the back, you can fold your seats down here. And again, with a foldable headrest, you do have a little bit more resilience with the hard rubber backing. So if you're loading stuff in and you're having to worry about mud and stuff, you don't have to worry about getting it out of carpet. This is a lot easier to clean and a lot more resilient. These will lock back into place. Underneath the back passenger seat, they also have a little bit more storage down here. So if you needed to carry any sort of off-roading kits or anything like that that's down and out of the way, it's really simple. Down here, you do have carpet matting, but you have an option just to use your vinyl. So if you know you're going to be going off-road and hiking, you'll have muddy boots or anything like that, that again is going to be a lot easier to clean. Back here, we have our little center console that fold down for an armrest. You also have two cup holders here. And then in the back, You've got a lot more options in there. And then you've got anything you need to hook to, sunglasses, GoPros, anything like that. You can hook that in there. You have a 110 outlet back here as well as in rear air. So if you've got anybody that, like right now it's really cold out, if we're going to be heating the car up with a remote start or anything like that, it does a good job of circulating the air all the way around. Or if you've got munchkins back here, it does a good job of getting them air or heat, whatever's needed, depending on the season. So we'll go up front, take a look at some computer options, and see how this one's equipped. All right, so we're inside the Bronco Sport with the Ebony Roast Interior Badlands Edition. I'm going to go ahead and start things up. First off, we've got our moonroof here, so a little bit larger than average size moonroof, allows for tons of natural light. This is a opening sunroof too. Some manufacturers make them that are fixed. This one does open. So it's all a one touch if you need it to be. I'm going to leave that open. So up here we have a 7.5-inch display screen. They did a whole redo kind of from the ground up, not really a redo, but a ground up instrumentation panel specifically for the Bronco model. So the Bronco Sports and the new Broncos. Obviously all your power windows and locks that come on this side. Automatic headlights come also with automatic high beams. So if you're driving out in the county, your beams will stay on low. If it's dark enough, they'll go to high beams. If someone comes to you, they'll automatically dim and return to high beam whenever the opposing party is passed. You do have lane keeping system, so that will either keep you in your lane. You can turn that on and off at the end of this stalk over here on the left-hand side. I can press that. That'll either vibrate the steering wheel or automatically correct you. You can also have it do both functions, or you can turn it completely off. So it can vibrate, correct you, or vibrate and correct you, or you can turn that off and on. So next we're going to go over some driving modes. So the Broncos are standard with what's called GOAT modes, which stands for goes over any terrain. So you can switch this and spin this, and that's going to show up behind the screen back here. This is our different terrain modes that we have: locking full-wheel drive, locking rear differential, and traction control. So we've got a couple different options there. While we're on it, that is a hold button. So if you're in traffic and you are not wanting to keep your foot on the brake, while you're in drive, you can press that and let your foot off the brake, and it'll hold you in the same position until you hit the accelerator. So that's really nice in traffic. You have electronic park and brake, and then this is your gear selector. So you can just spin that to any gear that you need to be. Automatically in reverse, your backup camera is going to come up. A little while earlier, we spoke about being able to look right over your hitch. So if I hit this little plus in the top left-hand corner, that's going to put me right over my hitch if I'm fixing to back down to a trailer. So at that point, I can put it back in park once I've got it right where I want it, lower my trailer down. And again, getting out once is really nice, especially if it's really cold out or you're in inclement conditions. Okay, so going back to our GOAT modes. I'm going to spin this, and then you'll see the difference come up on the cluster back here. So if I spin this to the right, I go for my normal mode, and I'm going to go over first into my eco mode. That is going to go from a normal driving range with your transmission and switch you into keeping you into a lower gear, higher gear at a lower RPM. If I go into the sport mode, which is the next one over, it's going to do the opposite. It's going to keep you at a lower gear at a higher RPM and allow you to accelerate a little bit quicker. As we go next, slippery, that's going to put you into more of an all-terrain mode. I'm going to keep going. We're going left now. So mud and ruts is going to automatically put our camera systems on here, which is really cool. Automatically pulls everything up. So this is actually my front camera. So I can see everything that's going on right in front of my front bumper. I'm going to switch this over. It also locks us into four-wheel drive in the mud rut mode. We go over one more. This is our sand. And again, it's changing all of our different driving systems as need be to get the best traction in whatever we're in. It can send up to 100% of power to one axle alone. So really, if we're needing to move some power around in order to get more traction, the vehicle is going to do that on itself or on its own. We're going to move over one more. Again, that camera system is going to come up in the rock crawl mode. and it's going to lock us into 4-low. Now if I have this terrain management system on, I can activate this, and essentially what that is it's an off-road cruise control. You can set that from 1 to 20 miles per hour, depending on what you're doing, and allow you to focus on driving. And anybody that's been off-road knows that a consistent throttle helps you a lot with being able to retain traction. So that does help quite a bit in a variety of ways, so you don't have to worry about handling the throttle, and you can keep your eyes focused on driving and what needs to happen there. As we go up, I'm going to put this back into normal. As we go back up, we have individual climate control in the Badlands. Along with that, we have heated seating on either side, heated steering wheel, so my steering wheel is very warm right now. That actually gets hot in about 30 seconds. It doesn't take any time at all. So right now it's set just to the driver's temperature. If a passenger gets in and would like to change it, all they have to do is change it, and it's going to automatically go into a split zone system. If the driver gets back in and just wants his or her system on, and you can press that and it's going to go back. That little dual button there you see is no longer illuminated. It's going to go back to a single zone climate control system. I can control what my air's doing, so I can recirculate, go through air conditioning, non-air conditioning, different heating options for all my glass here as well. This is new too, so we've got a little bit of storage right here, so if you're needing to throw your keys in or anything like that, you can. While we're on that topic, you can also put your cell phone here. You have a wireless charging pad. You've got a little bit more storage here, and then these two USB ports. We've got a micro USB and a regular USB. Those will both give you Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on your wireless system. So as we go up here, we've got all of our different options as far as our display. You can turn that off and have just kind of a regular mode. You can turn it off completely, or you can have your regular screen show up. Auto stop start, that's going to be pretty much on everything. Any new vehicles, any new models outside of Super Duties, we're going to have auto stop start. That's not going to remember from startup to startup, but if you don't like that system, you can press the A and you can turn it off. So you can also access your front camera, I believe at up to 8 miles an hour if you're not in one of the GOAT modes. So you can access that if you need to. Outside of that, we're on our home screen. So I've got my navigation showing, my audio, and any of my cell phone service. So that'll give me my cell bars, my battery life, and if my 911 assist is set to on or off. So that'll give you that. 911 assist, if your airbags deploy, it'll automatically send EMS to you. Audio down here, this vehicle is equipped with a Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is an excellent sound system. They do very good work, so I'm very proud of that. On the audio features, they also did an update with the sync software where I can tell it, if anybody that's into any sort of sports games or anything like that, you can press the push to talk here on the steering wheel and tell it, say, I want to hear the Predators game, and it's going to automatically pull up the Predators game on the Sirius XM channel that will be playing that game. You can tell it whatever station you want to listen to, what climate zone you want it to what climate temperature you want it to play or provide for you. Phone here, we can add quite a few different Bluetooth if we need to. You can change which one is the primary. You can change phones if you have more than one paired to the vehicle at one time, and both people with paired phones are in. You can change which one you'd like to connect to. Navigation is a cinch. Not only can you talk to it and give it navigational direction, but you can also go here. This is a menu. It's going to have some preloaded stuff in here for us. So if I wanted to go to POI, which is called Points of Interest, you can say we wanted to go get gas. So gas, let's see, that would obviously fall under travel. So I'm going to hit travel, and I'm going to hit fuel here. So it's going to pick up the closest fuel stations by proximity to where we're at. So we know that we've got one that's 2 minutes away and 0.6 of a mile. So really simple, really easy process. And with Ford Pass, if you activate the mobile Wi-Fi, it'll also show you the price per gallon on there as well. So you can scroll through here. It has different recreation parks automatically loaded, different domestic highlights. You can search for hospitals or police stations or anything like that that you may need while you're out of town. You can pull up different history of places that you've been. Really simple. Apps will pair with any compatible apps from your cell phone to the vehicle, like Pandora, iHeartRadio, different apps like that that will download to the system. Settings through here, you have your vehicle driver's assistance on your center screen now. So we're going to press that. We can go through different options. So if we wanted to see how our adaptive cruise control works, they do a really good job with this. You can press this I, and it's going to tell you how adaptive cruise control works, and it'll also give you a little video as well. So you can configure things throughout your different driver's assistance settings or vehicle settings based on your different videos and everything, all the media that's available right on the vehicle without having to look it up online. FordPass Connect, that's where we're going to activate our mobile Wi-Fi. One great thing, navigation used to be updated via SD card. So you have to pay for an SD card, plug it in, it'll download your new map system. Now that's all done via Wi-Fi. So just like you would set up a new computer or cell phone on your home Wi-Fi system, you go home, you press your Wi-Fi, you connect it, you put in your web key, and it's going to automatically update all of your navigation maps and anything that the vehicle needs to update as well. So really simple and a really awesome system that makes life super simple. You do have a valet mode, recent navigational input in there. So let's say I had my home address saved, and you're giving a valet person your key, so you're going into dinner or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn our audio on here just to show kind of an example. So valet mode is done with a 4-digit PIN. So all you have to do is put in a 4-digit PIN. It can be any 4-digit PIN you want. I'm going to put in 4 ones, for example. Now let's say if someone gets in and wants to go park your car and they want to see where you've been, or some of your contacts or anything like that, that makes none of this accessible. So now all they can do really is go park your vehicle and then bring you the key back whenever it's time to pick your vehicle back up. So when you get back in, this will stay on valet mode from startup to startup. So when you get back in, you just put in your 4-digit code, which again was 4 ones. We hit done, and then my radio comes on. If I have navigation settings set up, we can that'll come back on as well. But that's going to be in your vehicle settings back here. Outside of that, it's just a brief synopsis of some of the options this one has, and very good setup. We really like the Badlands, and so I hope you've enjoyed the video. If there's any questions, my name is Jesse. Again, I'm at Hunt Ford. Please feel free to reach out to me. We're at 625 Garvin Lane in Franklin, Kentucky, or you can reach me on my cell phone. It's area code 813-482-6606. Feel free to call or text that number. That's the easiest number for me. Outside of that, thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave us a comment if there's anything that you have questions on. We'd be more than happy to help.